Snitchuation number 3. All right. to talk about privacy.
Oh.
Hey, snitches. I need to start by saying I thought I was cool about porn.
Oh, okay.
Like, we're adults and it's fine. I'm evolved energy. Turns out I'm not that evolved. I accidentally discovered my partner's porn habits. Truly accidental. I borrowed his laptop, typed one letter into the browser, and suddenly the internet told me things about my relationship I did not ask to know.
Oh, homie don't know how to clear his cache.
Yeah, once I saw it, I did way too much snooping and found his entire history, searches, etc. And to be clear, I'm not shocked that he watches porn. That feels normal.
Sure.
The surprise was more about what he's watching and how often. I was not prepared for such curation and specific search terms. Now I'm sitting here realizing I had porn boundaries that I didn't know existed until about 5 minutes ago. I've gone through every stage of the spiral. Everyone does this. Do they? Am I being insecure or am I being lied to by my former cool girl persona? I've also started doing the worst thing possible, which is comparing myself to the women on his screen and then immediately going mad at myself for doing that.
Yeah.
It's a real lose-lose situation. If I bring it up, I sound unhinged. I have to admit to the level of snooping that was done and that I suddenly care way more than I claim to. But if I don't bring it up, I'm going to keep mentally competing with the internet, which feels exhausting and deeply unwinnable. So what do I do? Confess that I'm not as chill as I thought? Ask him to change something I can't even fully articulate? Or do I just quietly adjust my expectations and delete my browser history trauma from my memory? Because right now, I'm less mad at him and more disappointed in myself for discovering this late in life that I am not, in fact, that cool. I think there are a lot of...
That makes my stomach hurt for her.
I know. I think there are a lot of issues here. I think, it's hard to even know where to start because there's so many things to address.
I will say porn is complicated.
Yes.
Obviously, if you are dating a man, they look at it. Like, that's just what it is. I understand being taken aback by a curation or a curiosity that is jarring. I do understand that. I want to know, did she say they were dating or married? Again,
it just says partners.
Okay.
It sounds married though, because we're talking about long-term, this person is older.
Okay. I think you have to talk about it, and I think you can lay it out in a way that's not crazy. I feel like you can say, like, listen, I am spiraling, and I want to be clear that this is absolutely not an attack on you. When I borrowed your laptop, I typed this in, the stuff came up, I looked at it, I spiraled because I don't look like that. And I'm not judging you. I'm like weirdly judging myself in this. And I'm really sorry. I want to be like cool girl about it, but I don't feel cool girl. And I just feel like I need to kind of like address it or I can't move past it.
Well, yeah. And I don't think it's wrong for couples to have boundaries around pornography.
I agree.
I know that it will be different, and I think it should be different depending on how your partner actually feels about pornography. But if your partner is telling you, looking at pornography makes me feel a certain way and hurts me and makes me feel less close to you, then you have to consider that and you have to put
We're looking at like a certain type or looking at it this often.
No, I mean, because it can affect intimacy and it does affect intimacy. Like if you're only looking at porn and it's affecting your sex life to the point where you're not having sex with your wife or your partner.
Or you're having a type of sex that lacks intimacy.
Yeah. Like I think there are a lot of things that porn can do. Porn can be exploitative, can be, there are all kinds of stories that come out of porn that are very negative. So it's like, I'm not going to the point of sex positivity where I say that all porn is good and don't worry about any level of porn usage. That is definitely not my take on it. I would say that you have told him in the past, obviously, that you have no problem with it.
Right.
You thought that you were cool with things that you had no idea what you were actually cool
I think a lot of women, like, we think porn is just like, oh, we have like this very generic understanding of it, especially if you don't personally utilize it. And then if you are able to see into the belly of the whale, of like all that is there, it can be like
The belly of the
traumatizing.
She's bringing those biblical references back into the belly of the whale.
Well, you know. Yeah, forgive me. I've been traumatized by the Bible. But anyway, into the belly of the beast. I think that it can be really traumatizing when you realize like what's out there and how many like different weird kinks there can be. And then like you realize that your partner's into something that like you didn't even know existed.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't say what it was, but I imagine that might be along the lines of what she's experiencing.
Well, of course. And I think that the biggest thing is that I see this as long as it's not accusatory and as long as it like, this is all good.
Yeah.
Like having more conversations around sex and what your expectations are and what makes you comfortable, what makes you uncomfortable. I think that that's all positive stuff. And I think most guys are cool with like having those discussions, especially if it was the kind of thing that you have talked about in theory before.
Yeah.
But like, I think always going back and doing a reset on these things and being like.
And also saying like, is this something that you need? Like, what's going on?
Or is this just like morbid curiosity? Or like.
I'm feeling insecure and I need to like understand the dichotomy between what you're seeing there and what you're seeing here.
And allow him the opportunity to give you reassurance. Yeah. Because it doesn't sound like I feel like
guys look at porn for something that they don't necessarily intend to get from a human person.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where the problems can come, though.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is she did not say anywhere in here that they are having sexual complications, right. Or that there's a lack of intimacy in their relationship. This seems like she has just found his porn stack, his
online porn stack.
And I would just say, like,
I'd be like, also, can you please learn how to clear your browser?
Well, from a man's perspective, I can say that I think the comparison game is just all wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Men are just curious creatures.
Yeah. I would lean more in that he's curious, that he likes a plethora of things that he can see and types
Maybe
that he can see.
Like when you get on to like a certain type of food that you really like for a while.
I think that, I can't know what you saw, and I can't know if it would surprise me.
I'd love to.
Or
I'm curious.
Or really mess me up. But
yeah.
I would just say, I always lean in relationships that communication and challenging conversations have the opportunity to bring you closer.
Yeah.
And so I think always leaning into those is a good thing, not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say.